Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to Elite, the dangerous journey across the galaxy. Today's topic of discussion will be a response to a comment I received on a video I did a couple of videos ago when I was talking about negative feedback, but we'll get to that after we get off this planet up into space, and we don't even have to get out of the atmosphere or anything. We can just go ahead and start our jump. and get through our intro for all of the new faces who are just joining us for this journey and have no idea what's going on. So the purpose of this trip is to head out to Beagle Point, but the main reason is to increase our exobiology rank out to the out as far into the elite ranks as we can get, as well as make enough money to hopefully buy a fleet carrier by the time we're done with all of this, so that we can take it out into deep space and continue our exploration journey in style. So there is a sequence of events that we typically do as we go through all of this. We will pop the discovery scanner, as you see here. We'll start doing some fuel scooping, as you can see, to keep our fuel tanks topped off. And then once we're done with our fuel scooping maneuver over here, we'll come to a stop, or at least come to idle throttle. Check out the full spectrum system scanner. See if there are any Earth-like worlds. If you look down there in the bottom right of the screen, you can see that it says Earth-like worlds, ammonia worlds, or water worlds. We don't see any available options there, so we're going to go ahead and do a full scan of the system because I have a limit of 15 bodies. It's a fudgeable limit, but for the most part, right around 15 is what we're looking for. No more than that for doing the individual scans like this, mostly just because we're trying to strike a balance between stopping to smell the roses, the exobiology roses, and actually making some progress towards our destination. So this is the sequence of events that's going to be going on. It's kind of a repetitive thing, and that's why I try to have a topic of conversation as we're going through all of this, so that we're getting some things done and actually engaging our brains just a little bit. So a couple of episodes ago, the topic of discussion was dealing with dealing with negative feedback. And the premise of what I was saying, if I can try to drudge that memory up, because I just have a really bad memory, but it was something to the effect of, you're going to deal with negative feedback, and you have to learn how to deal. You have to learn how to deal with that. You're going to receive it no matter what it is that you're doing, and certain things that you do are going to put you in a place where you're going to receive a lot more negative feedback than others. And the specific impetus of that particular topic was I posted it wasn't really a review video. I don't like doing review videos. It was more of I was trying it out and sharing my experience with everybody. And I had some things to say about the demo as I was going through it. And there was a lot of people who took offense to my comments because they have this opinion that, oh, it's a demo, it's just a demo, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, it's just a demo, but at the same time, these are issues that do need to be addressed, and we might as well address them now while it's still just a demo. But anyways, it received enough negative, not just negative feedback in the form of dislikes, but just people leaving a lot of rude and kind of really super negative comments. And I'm not the kind of person who really wants to put up with that kind of interactions with people, and I didn't care about the video enough to keep it, so I decided that rather than continue to have this stream of negative comments that I can't really deal with, and I'm gonna have to do some re-explanation from the other video, because I know some of you didn't watch it. I would prefer it if you go back and just listen to the original video. That'll help out the channel. But the Cliff Notes version is that I believe in 100% free speech, and I don't think it's okay to go around turning my comments off, because people should be free to say whatever it is they want to say about whatever it is that they want to say. Now, that said, that doesn't necessarily mean that I want to be constantly exposed to people running around saying rude and disrespectful things towards me. And YouTube does not really provide me... Ooh, there's a biological... All right, so we're looking for biological sources, biological features. If you look up there on the top right, we want to find at least 2, though, before we're going to commit ourselves to going to take a closer look, because if it's just 1, it's almost certainly going to be only a bacterial source, and that's not really worth our time. So we're going to go ahead and just move on to the next system. It's unlikely that last planet's going to actually have anything worth it. YouTube does not provide a way to turn off notifications, comment notifications for individual videos. I can either turn off all notifications, which means that, you know, I'm not going to get any notifications at all from when people come in, when people leave comments. And I want to respond and see the obviously the positive comments, but also, you know, constructive criticism. People who are coming in and, you know, they disagree with me, but they want to approach it in a respectful way. You know, I welcome that kind of constructive criticism. I want to be told, hey man, I think you're wrong because, and, you know, you say it in a way that respects the fact that, you know, I have an opinion, you have an opinion, and we can disagree. It's okay to disagree. There's too many people out there who, you know, they think that because they believe in their opinion so strongly that you're just stupid that you don't think the same way. And it's like, no, you're stupid because you think that everybody should think like you think. And I'm straight up. Anybody who disagrees so strongly with someone else and they can't allow them to have their own opinion, you are stupid. 100%. And I have no qualifiers for that. If you can't let someone else think differently than you, you are stupid. End of story. At least that's as far as I'm concerned. And you know, I realize that that's a me not thinking that other people can think differently than me. Fine, but I think in this case, objectively, you are stupid if you can't allow other people to have a different opinion. Like, even the flat earther stuff. Like, I'm not going to go around trying to talk to flat earthers and you know, be rude and disrespectful to them because they choose to believe something different than I believe. Why? What does that accomplish? Is me being a jerk to them going to change their mind about whatever it is that they're thinking? No, it's going to more firmly entrench them in whatever it is that they're thinking, because now instead of listening to me as somebody who's trying to provide them with constructive feedback, they just see me as somebody attacking them. So they're even less likely to change their mind because I'm being a dick about it. You know what I mean? So, you know, anyone who runs around thinking that you are going to have a positive effect on anybody else by, you know, flapping your gums and trying to force people to listen to you because you think you're so right. No, you are stupid. Stupid. Like, whatever the worst form of stupid is, that's you. So anyways, like, I know I sound offended by the interaction that I had, and, you know, I'm sure on some level I am. It's more of a, you know, a shaking my head moment when I receive interactions like this from people, because it's like, I don't understand how people can go through their life thinking that that's an appropriate way to engage with people. So anyways, like I said, I had a video, I did a couple of video, what's the word I'm trying to say? A couple of videos ago, I did a topic about dealing with negative feedback, and I talked about how I erased a video because I got to the point where, you know, I don't want to shut people up, but at the same time, I don't want to continue having to have notifications that pop up, and I have to read all of these negative, like, not just, you know, disagreeing, but just negative people trying to make it seem like I'm stupid because, or I'm stupid or annoying because of the way I approach the game. And it's like, I don't need all of that. I don't care about the game enough to sit here and have to continue to be exposed to that kind of stuff. And, you know, it's easier for me to just get rid of the video and get back to the content where, you know, most people aren't getting offended and butthurt because I'm disagreeing with this thing that they like. Like, okay, I'm not here. I have very low tolerance for drama, is kind of what I'm saying. And, you know, I know being in a public space is exposing me to many more chances for drama, but how many? Doesn't look like there's anything here. But at the same time, my response to that is, you know, while I understand that putting myself in a public space like this is going to 100% increase my exposure to drama that I don't necessarily want, that doesn't mean I just have to lay down and accept that that's the way it's going to be all the time. That doesn't mean I can't try to take measures to minimize my exposure to that kind of behavior. Because, you know, you can sit back and say, well, it is what it is, but, you know, got to live with it. It's like, well, it is what it is because we keep saying it is what it is. You know, we don't do anything about it. Nobody, like, there's not enough people out there trying to actively curb that behavior in the form of just ridiculing people who behave that way. Now, like, as I said, I am 100%, like, no There, no qualifications, no exceptions. Like, seriously, no exceptions. People should be able to say whatever it is that they want to say. If you want to believe in certain radical ideologies and you hate people and you want to spew forth your hate, I believe you should have the right to say that, and because it's not okay for people to tell other people what they can and can't say, what they can and can't believe, that kind of stuff. I strongly disagree with with censorship of any kind outside of, hey, we're trying to protect our kids. Kids are a different story. They're not old enough to make their own decisions. There should be gates in front of that. But as far as adults who are fully formed and capable of making their own decisions about things, censorship should not be a thing. You should be able to say whatever you want. So I don't want my channel to be a place where when I post something, because I did it one time. I turned the comments off on a Star Citizen video because the community over there was just really didn't like my opinion of their game. They really didn't like it, and it got to the point where I turned the comments off, and then a couple of them came into my Discord trying to antagonize me because I turned the comments off, and it's like, yeah, I probably deserve that because I believe in free speech, and here I am trying to turn the comments off. It was mostly for my own sanity, but I was wrong for doing that, and that's fine. So my response now is that if I post a video and it's drawing a significant amount of ire from enough people where I'm getting a constant stream of people coming in and leaving these negative comments, and again, I want to make sure I'm very clear. I'm not talking about disagreement. I'm talking about jerks. Jerks coming in and being jerks for no reason. So if I post videos like that and I get enough of that, it's easier for me to just delete the video and move on, because no single video is worth it. Like, I'm not going to make enough money off of any single video that it's worth having to deal with that kind of BS. It's just not. So anyways, I know I keep not getting to the point. Sorry. I did that video, and one person decided to pop in, and I got home a little bit ago, and they said something to the effect of, if you go into the public space, you're going to be exposing yourself to that, and trying to shield yourself from that is like 3-year-old behavior. And it's like, okay, that's kind of stupid. That's a very stupid thing to say to somebody, because it's like, I think one of the things that they said was emotional people are weak, and it's like, well, but we're all emotional. Every single person on the planet is emotional. You may be better. Well, no, and I want to be very clear here. Your method of dealing with emotions may be to try to be stoic and to, quote unquote, suck it up, and I don't let those things affect me. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. It's like, yeah, you do. You can say all you want that you don't care about what anybody thinks about you, but you do. We all do. Every single person does. No person walks around in life truly not caring about what anybody else thinks about them. And you can tell that that's the truth, because the ones who say that stuff are always the ones who are overcompensating with their I don't care attitude. You know what I mean? It's like you walk around and they have this attitude. It's a very strong attitude. I'm tough. I'm this. I'm that. And it's like, no, you're not. That's the front you're putting on so that the hurtful things that people say to you don't sting as bad, because that's the method of self-protection that you've chosen with which to deal with people. Anybody who walks around trying to say that they're not emotional is clearly somebody who does zero serious self-reflection. Everybody is emotional, and the problem with the idea that, the problem with stoicism is that all it does is suppress the emotion in a way that's going to force it to come out later in a way that you don't want it to. Now, I'm not advocating that we all need to be touchy-feely little little bitches. Like, I try not to cuss, but that's the only word I can use. I would never, I served too long in the Marine Corps to have a mentality that says we should all be touchy-feely little girls, like if we're little babies, whatever. But at the same time, I'm old enough now to know that this tough guy mentality that a lot of us have is not a good way to go. It's just not. I'm not advocating that, you know, we all need to turn into like femboys or anything like that, and no. no. But at the same time, you know, if you don't deal with the feelings that you have when you have them, then what ends up happening is later on in your life, all of that stuff blows up on somebody else, and usually on somebody you don't want it to happen to. You know, you snap at your kids because you're feeling, because you were suppressing all of that stuff, and finally enough things happen to you that you just can't take it anymore. And then you yell at your kid, or you yell at your wife, or you yell at, ooh. All right, we're going to go to that biological planet because that's a good place to go. You know, and I know because I know from personal experience, I'm the kind of person who stuffs my emotions down and doesn't like to deal with my feelings and all of that stuff. And that's the way that it goes. You know, that's not strength anymore than, you know, falling down every time, or falling into a little crying session every time something bad happens to you is strong. You know, it's all the same stuff. Anyone who says that, you know, emotions make you weak, you don't understand human nature, and you definitely don't sit down and do any kind of serious self-reflection on your own life, because if you look at yourself, no matter how tough you think you are, you know, you have feelings, and they do affect you, and you either are processing that in a way that you know, allows you to avoid some of the BS in your life, or you're refusing to process it, and then it comes out when it decides to come out rather than when you decide to just deal with it, you know? So that's kind of the point I'm really trying to get to in this video, is that you know, one of the things I learned a long time ago is that you're never going to change anybody's mind, especially people who make all or nothing statements like that. Like, if this person is a regular viewer of mine, I have no idea if they are. If they come back and they hear what I'm saying right now, all I'm going to get from them is just another comment, just like what they gave me before, because they have already made up their mind about their view of the world. And their view of the world is, it is what it is, and you just have to suck it up and deal with it. And it's like, yeah, but it is what it is because we keep saying it is what it is. It is what it is because we don't do anything to change what is. All we do is just keep saying, well, nothing I can do about it, I guess we're just gonna have to live with it. And it's like, well, okay, that's one solution. Or, you know, we could start trying to do things to fix the situation. That's there, you know, and there are ways to fix the situation without having to force people to do it. We can. Peer pressure is a very strong motivator, and when enough people are telling you that you're a jackass, you'll stop being a jackass eventually, because just like me, not wanting to get these super negative comments on my videos. You know, and we all have negative. We all have emotions that are affected by other people. No matter how much you hate that. That is the only thing that is what it is. We're not going to be able to change that. That's human nature. We all want to be accepted. We all want to have positive interactions with other people, and nobody wants to be told, you know, that nobody wants to be made to feel like we're wrong or bad or unacceptable. And, you know, the only way to stop people from doing that kind of thing is to make that behavior unacceptable. And it's one of those things where there's a couple of ways you can deal with bullies. If you ignore them and don't give them the satisfaction of, you know, letting them know how it makes you feel, then eventually they'll stop because they're not getting what they want out of you. Or you get the community behind you and you start shaming them because of their behavior, and they start feeling really bad and they stop doing it. They may not apologize, they may not, you know, there's a lot of things that's not going to happen just because of the kind of person that they are. But if enough people are rising up against this person who's being a jerk, they'll stop because they don't want to continue to get that kind of negative interaction any more than the people they've been bullying want it. So, and I'm not calling this commenter a bully. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying that's the kind of it's just an example of the kind of negative behavior that we accept that we don't necessarily have to. And to go up to somebody and tell them because I choose to do something that is, you know, public related, that I just have to suck it up because that's just the way it is. It's like, well, yeah, it is the way that it is now. That doesn't mean it has to be. And it certainly doesn't mean that I can't try to find ways to minimize my exposure to it. Like, that's just stupid to, you know, just 100% accept that, you know, this is the way that it is and there's nothing I can do about it. Well, like, no, there's plenty I can do about it. Oh, come on. I was really trying to not do that. I really hate it when it does this. I really, really hate it when it does this. We were low enough in speed that I really should have been able to slow down before we got to the glide. But there's this thing in there's something with the way that the code works that it just, if you don't completely change your angle away from the planet, then slow down, then turn back, you're not going to get out of it. There's a suction effect or something that happens that they decided to put in here, and there's absolutely zero you can do about it. If you don't approach the planet just right the first time, you have to turn around all the way around, level out, and then turn back down, rather than just, you know, why can't my drive just slow me down? This is the kind of irritating manual control stupidity things that irritates me about this game, and they really need to change it. They really need to change it. There's no reason I should have to put up with that kind of stuff. Anyways, so I lost track of what I was saying. You know, there's absolutely no reason why we all can't try to find ways to mitigate or minimize our exposure to the things in life that we don't like, you know? And for somebody to come along and say that a person is weak or acting like a 3-year-old because we don't want to be talked to that way, you're acting like a little child. It's like, nobody wants to be talked to that way. You don't want to be talked to that. You don't want to. You may be willing to accept it because you think that that's the inevitable way that, you know, human interactions have to be. But that's just you. That's just you not understanding anything. Things can be different, and things can be made, and you can do things to avoid some of the things that you don't want to deal with. If you don't want to deal with weak little bitches, then, you know, don't put yourself in a position where you're going to have to deal with weak little bitches. If you're going to watch YouTube, you're going to be exposed to an infinite variety of different kinds of people, because there's an infinite variety of different kinds of people on the platform presenting their opinion. And the problem that we have nowadays is that everybody thinks that, you know, your opinion is important enough that whoever it is that's making this content needs to be aware of it. What I think matters. No, what you think absolutely does not matter. You may be featured in a video right now, but the only reason I'm talking about, oh, that's kind of cool. Fonticula, what is this? It said Fonticula, right? That was Fonticula and bacteria? Fonticula digitos. I think we've seen this before, right? Digitos sounds familiar. Like, the only reason why this comment is even being featured in a video is because it addresses a broader topic of just the saying that I've done twice. We say it is what it is, and it is what it is because we keep saying it, because we don't do anything to try to change it. And the idea that because I've chosen to do something that is public means that I just have to deal with people's crap, it's like, no, I can find ways of minimizing my exposure to it. And I should find ways of minimizing my exposure to it. And I would prefer to try to find ways of minimizing my exposure that doesn't cut off the rest of my audience, which is why I choose to delete videos until such time that the YouTube developers provide us with a way to make it so we don't have to get notifications on videos that are doing very negatively. Like, if I could just turn off notifications, if I could stop receiving, if I could filter out comments from certain videos, like if I can mark one video as saying, you know what, leave the comments there, but don't tell me that they're there, and all I have to do, and all that's left is that there's a like-dislike ratio, I could be totally fine with that, because, you know, hey, I can accept the fact that the video that I did is not doing well, and, you know, there's a lot of people that don't like it, and it is what it is. That is what it is that I can live with. But, you know, when I have to put up with people leaving because the way YouTube Studio is set up is they have it, the default filter that they have is, have I responded to this comment yet? And I don't want to change that, because there's a lot of people who leave comments, and I want to get your comment, and I want to respond to your comment, and if I turn off all my notifications, I won't know that you left a comment, and how am I going to respond to that? So, you know, the fact that I can't turn off comments for specific videos means that I either have to completely turn off comments for a video, which I don't want to do because I don't believe in censorship, or I have to delete a video so that I don't get any more comments on the video. I'd much rather just leave the video if I could, but they don't make it that way. I forgot to turn on the night vision. So I'm hoping that I left some feedback for the YouTube Studio development team or whatever, but, you know, I'm sure they don't pay attention to any of that stuff. That's just there to make us feel like they care. They don't care. Let's see. We're gonna grab this last set of Fonticula, and I think, hopefully it's close enough, or hopefully it's far enough away. Nope. I keep getting some blue right here. Come on, give me blue. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, hopefully this is far enough away, and we can go ahead and just call this good. We had to do a little bit of twisting and turning to find another set, though, so it's entirely possible we just came back to the same one we were just at. Well, looks like it's going to be good. Let's see. All right. So anyways, hopefully you guys had lots of fun on the video. Be sure to click that like button if you did, so that the YouTube algorithm will know and send the video out to as many people as possible. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so now, so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your feed and you will be able to watch it as soon as it becomes available. Channel members do get early access to all of my content, so be sure to click that join button, check out the list of options available there, and decide if any of those are right for you. If you're not interested in a continuing commitment, there is the thanks button, which is YouTube's form of a tip. Direct contributions such as these are greatly appreciated and a critical component to helping to turn this into a full-time gig, which is the dream. So again, thank you very much for your time, and hope to see you for the next one.